Using only one 2x4x8 and 2 hours of your time, it's gonna put $475 in your pocket. I tailor my builds around collected data analytics, tried and true top sellers, and trending products to maximize my take-home profit. And all you have to do is watch this 10-minute video. Everything provided in this video is free to download at WhosTheVoss.com. Because in 10 minutes, if you don't have all the required information to build this project, either I'm really bad at teaching or I'm a con man. And I don't want to be either of those. First thing we're gonna do is cut this baby in half. On the miter saw, obviously. 48 inches, people. Why am I using the 13-year-old Cobalt when I have the saw of my dreams sitting in the box? Because I've checked. It's too big to go where my current saw is. It means I have to rework the entire bench. And we just simply do not have the time. We cut our 2x4s down to 48 inches because I'm going to be running them through the table saw. I set the fence to 3 1/4 of an inch to remove that rounded edge of that 2x4. And we only need to do this to one edge of the board. Then setting the fence to 1 1/2 inches, put that freshly cut edge up against there and run your boards through. Great question, chicken. Why did we spend all that time making 2x2 material? I like the nice, clean, sharp edges that we get by fabricating it ourselves. 2x2 material generally still has those rounded edges you find on 2x4s. And also, 2 2x2x8s is not the same cost as one 2x4x8. Generally more expensive. And sure, maybe it takes a little bit more time and there's some wear and tear on your equipment, plus the potential for that baby to kick back and blow out a window, but another option is to purchase a round dowel. Do you guys say dowel or dowel rod? People get mad when you say dowel rod. Let me know. Just purchase a 1.5 inch square dowel. It's like these round guys, but they're square. And generally at the box store, they're available in poplar and oak. You get those nice clean edges without any of the work. But boy, does it cost you some money. So back at the miter saw, we are cutting 19 at 5 inches long and 19 at 4 inches long. Then we're gonna give them a quick kiss on the sander, real quick, because this project ain't done. Everybody watching this video fits in one of two categories. Either you own a drill press or you don't. And if you own one but it's broken, you're still in the I don't own one category. So I'm going to appease both parties right now. If you don't own a drill press, that's okay. Grab your cordless drill and a 1/16 of an inch drill bit. You're going to take your blocks of wood. You're going to find the center, straight edge, pencil, make a little cross section, and then you're going to take that drill and you're going to drill out the dead center to give your Forstner bit a guide. This guy, just an 1 1/4 Forstner bit. Once you have your Forstner bit, it's got that little pilot on the top, and that's what we drilled that little hole, so it has a nice little tunnel, so it stays nice and straight. It doesn't want to wander off, because we are drilling into end grain, and once you hit the end grain, it's gonna start dancing. This is a no dance area, so drill out a small pilot, drill out your hole, and you're gonna end up with this. I just go the depth of my Forstner bit, right to where it has that little angle. It's real easy to see when it's spinning around. You're gonna do this to every piece of wood. And let's say you're fortunate enough to own a drill press, even if it's just a benchtop model, and yours happens to have the grounding prong still in the plug. Good for you. You're gonna take that 1 1/4 Forstner bit, you're gonna take your block of wood, and you're gonna set up one of these. All it really is just a couple pieces nailed down to a board that I have centered with my Forstner bit. So once I take this piece of wood, I pop him in where it needs to go. I take this little sliver of a paint stick, I wrap tape around it till it fit. I just pop him in to hold everything nice and snug together. You can fire it up and drill out your hole. You don't need to mark it, you don't need to pilot it, everything's staying where it's supposed to. Once you have all your holes drilled, you're gonna print out the free plans, you're gonna cut out the two shapes, and then you're gonna glue them onto your projects. I like to use Craft Bond repositionable glue stick. I've heard you guys have problems finding this, and I'm gonna be in the same boat pretty soon. I've also included a second plan, which this one is really cool once it's done. You can go with the traditional heart shape. That one's always a fun time. And then there's this guy, which looks crazy cool once we get him cut out. Stay tuned for that. The safest and fastest way to cut these out is with a bandsaw. If you don't have a bandsaw, you can clamp your piece down and use a jigsaw or a coping saw. You could also use a hole saw to get the symmetrical hearts rounded bits looking perfect. And there you have it, 2 perfect hearts. And like I said, all you gotta do, craft bond, repositionable glue stick. Come on, craft bond. These have been on here overnight, so just peel them off before that. Use the project you just cut out to trace the next project and keep on trucking. Make sure you elect one of your projects to be the master copy so that you don't start getting them kind of funky looking because you're using a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy, and now it doesn't look like a heart anymore or something. I do half of them to look like this, half of them to look like this. Paint and stain your creations however you see fit. I see fit by staining the smaller pieces with a natural stain, and since I'm doing this in a batch, then I move over to staining the darker woods. If you stain all your lighter woods, then your darker woods, you make less of a mess. Larger pieces are stained with a Kona, and then half of the projects I use a bright red for the interiors, just to kind of give them that pop of color. Then the other half I use a, can't say that word online, fuchsia. It's just a pink color, pink. And the only step of assembly we have left is to take these 2 pieces, put a little glue on them, this guy, put a little glue on them, and it'll hold them in place, just using a cheap super glue. It's perfect for gluing these together. You don't have to worry about wood glue and clamping and waiting overnight. This is already done. It's been about 30 seconds. These guys, I don't generally glue them together. I like that you can kind of leave them a little cockeyed, leave them apart. These are done. They're done. And once everything dries, you have an arsenal of adorable little projects you can sell for a ton of money. There's a link in the description to purchase these LED tea lights. You can't use a standard tea light for these. Standard tea lights are 1.5 inch diameter, generally drill out an 1 5/8 hole. And these guys are smaller than our 1 1/4 inch hole. Since this total size is 1.5 inch, can't use a tea light in them. So what size mega yacht can you start shopping for? Well, chicken, dim the lights. Our 2x4 was $3.44. Blade usage, 2 cents. Electricity, 3 cents. How to factor all of those amounts are listed in the description. Stain, paint, and glue, looking at probably 7 cents. It doesn't really take that much of any of those things. I'd barely touch that even tiny bottle. It's not a lot of painting. And as far as the mileage and my time and wear and tear on the vehicle, I get paid 70 cents per mile. I don't know if this is a whole US thing. I file as a business. They pay me 70 cents to drive to the store, blah, blah, blah. I get a profit when I drive to the store. Otherwise, just you go into Costco, hey, honey, grab a 2x4 for me, you know? I don't know if they sell 2x4s at Costco. And the most expensive thing for this project are these LED tea lights. Kind of steal the show. They are 95 cents each, 19 times 2 per piece times 95 cents, looking at $36.10 for the lights. You might be able to find some that are cheaper. I like these. They last a long time. They come in different colors. I always do the amber. I don't know, they make multicolored ones. Maybe you want to experiment. $39.66 in total cost. 2-hour project mainly because of painting. These symmetrical easy hearts, they are easy breezy to paint, but once you get into the smaller intricate heart, it's more time to cut out, more time to paint. Selling for $25 each on Etsy times 19. So many products we've got. $475 minus the initial $39.66 entry fee brings us to $435.34, over $200 per hour in your shop. And that's, you know, they're popping right now. It's Valentine's Day, love's in the air. Let's just say you're selling them for $10 each. It's the middle of July. You're still bringing home $150.34 out of one 2x4. If you'd like to know more about different online selling platforms, where to sell, how to make money with woodworking, I do have an in-depth tutorial on a whole bunch of different sites that are trying to wring you dry when you're just trying to make a quick buck. Go check that video out. And yeah, that's the show. Thanks for watching. Oh, yeah. There we go. See ya. Somebody asked which push sticks I'm still using. It's these two. Go check out that video. We make a bunch of push sticks. These are my favorites.